Hello and welcome back everyone to this live demo session on SAP Abap on HANA come S4 HANA technical training with me Anubhav. In this live demo session, we are going to learn the basics of S4 HANA technicals. We will see an example of creating a CDS view. We will understand how to build analytics on S4 HANA using SAP Fiori and S4 HANA embedded analytics. In this tutorial, you will see who is this training for and what can you expect in the next 40 hours of this training. It's a demo session. Our actual classes are starting from tomorrow, 7 p.m. IST on weekends. So feel free to subscribe this course by visiting us at anubhavtrainings.com or sending us an email on contact@anubhavtrainings.com. So let's get started our today's demo. Let's understand who is this training for. So if you are one of these developer personas, then this training is going to help you out. If you are Imani Jackson, who's an Abap consultant, willing to embrace the change in the technology and make your existing Abap code run faster and better on HANA, this training is going to help you. If you are Makros Galan, who's a BW consultant and seeing a shift in your industry, that your company is demanding you to build CDS views for the purpose of analytics and expose these to the intelligent suite of technologies and OLAP tools like Analytics Cloud, this training is also going to help you out. If you are Javanchi Vadila, you are a Scrum professional, want to understand how HANA based project works, how can you estimate better for tomorrow for ABAP on HANA, this training is also going to help you. Finally, if you are any SAP technical consultant or a SAP enthusiast with SAP knowledge like Niels, you would like to learn and build amazing Fiori applications on top of CDS views to exploit full potential of SAP HANA computational power, this training is also going to help you. I hope you are able to relate yourself with one of the developer personas so that you can plan this training accordingly. Moving on, what can you expect in next 40 hours in this journey? We will first start with concepts of SAP HANA, SAP HANA basics. We will talk about the new NetWeaver layer and the new Abap syntax, along with enhancements into the framework. With that, we will also see the new types of framework like integrated development environment with Abap for ALV and fuzzy search. We will learn frameworks like BOPF to integrate with CDS views. In the phase 2 of this training, you will learn what it means for your company to go to S4 HANA, and when your company plan to go to S4 HANA, how can you leverage the power of HANA? Also, how can you help your company to fix custom code adaptation when it comes to moving to S4 HANA? We will discuss virtual data models into S4 HANA. In the third phase, we will also discuss the basic architecture of HANA database. We will learn HANA, its computational power, where it comes from, the architecture, the broad architecture diagram, development tools like Business Application Studio, Abap development tools, and also HANA Studio. You will see the architecture of HANA, how HANA meets ABAP, the concepts of catalogs, schemas, content, and packages, along with delivery unit and view proxies. In the last phase, we'll learn the concepts of CDS views, ABAP managed data procedure, AMDPs, and OData services along with Fiori application. Just to give you a glimpse, today's session is inspired by the fourth phase of our training, where we'll learn how to build a simple analytical application using CDS views in S4 HANA. We will learn how can we push down more and more logic and utilize the power of annotations on S4 HANA to build our amazing applications. Having said that, our today's use case is to design an analytics for recently held 2022 assembly elections in India. This is going to be our use case. So we had elections in 2022 in 4 states predominantly, which was Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Punjab. So we will analyze this data of these 4 states of election in S4 HANA system and build a analytic application. But before we start this demo, let me start quickly with the introduction of what is CDS view, also called core data and services. So let's talk about what is CDS views. Please note it's a demo session, so many parts of today's demo you might not be able to digest or understand, but you will at least get a glimpse of what can you expect in the journey of this training. So CDS stands for core data and services. These are enhancements of Open SQL in Abap. So whatever you could do typically with Open SQL in Abap, you can also do it with CDS. But more than that, CDS also provides a semantic data layer. Why we call it as semantic data layer? Because it provides a concept of annotations. With the help of that, we will be able to deliver and develop Fiori applications. We can build analytics, we can build transactional and display like Fiori applications as well using CDS views. So in our today's use case, I will utilize a database table to be able to create analytics using CDS views into S4 HANA system. In this journey of demonstration, we will first launch our development tool, which is called Abap development tool in Eclipse. In the second phase, I will create CDS views. In the phase 3, I will annotate the CDS view. In the fourth phase, I will create a OData service, which will expose the data over the network, over the internet to our application. And finally, we will build a simple Fiori application to display this data. Again, I repeat, this is a demo session. Maybe some parts of this demo you might not be able to understand because still there is a lot of learnings which is required to be able to digest this information. But the idea is you will get to know about the flow. How do we develop things? How can this course look like? And what can you expect? That's the idea of this demo session. Having said that, let me show you our data model. So this is a database table, custom database table for elections data, where I've uploaded 2022 assembly elections data for Goa, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Punjab states. You can see here election type, the constituency, the candidate name, the party which won the election, and how many votes that candidate has got in which city. So this is the typical data set what we have right now. Very simple to digest and understand. That's why it relates to more of a real time. And then the next step will be to go ahead and create now a CDS view on top of it. So our flow of development will be that we have our database table. Yes. So the first step is going to be having this database table as our base for the data for election data. So let me just draw the design diagram. On top of this database table, I will be creating just one CDS view, which will be of type cube nature, which will aggregate the data. It will sum votes. And this CDS view I will use to create a OData service. And finally, we will consume this on a Fiori application. Don't worry if you are new to Fiori, new to these things. It's absolutely fine. Just relax, sit, enjoy the demo. You will be learning all of these things in detail in our coming classes. So in order to build CDS views as a developer, you need tools. So the tool here is called ADT tool, Abap development tool in Eclipse. And the same developer would then use also a tool called Business Application Studio to build this Fiori application. So let's get started. We will go ahead and build now our CDS view as I explained the flow. So let's use this database table to create a view. So I'm going to go back, copy the table name, and let's create a new core data and service, so-called CDS view. So this development tool, what you see here, is called Eclipse development tool for Abap. I will show you in the next episode how to set up this tool in your company laptop or your personal laptop. But for demonstration purpose, I have already set up this tool in my computer. In the next class, I will show you and teach you how to set up this, how to get this for free in your computer as well. So let's create here a Q view for elections data. I will click on next and I will choose to create a new CDS view, core data and service. This is an ABAP system. I'm just using, instead of SAP GUI tool, this new tool called ADT. Some of you are already comfortable with basics of ADT and basics of CDS. Don't worry. For you also, we have lots of learning in this training till the advanced level, including virtual data models. So let's give a name of the view and of course our database table. And now I will just select all the properties what we have in our table. So let's mark here a annotation to say that I want to total all the votes. So I will say default aggregation. I want to do a sum. So here you can see what we have got is a annotation. And this is the real power of CDS as compared to typical SQL you write in ABAP. So it's very similar to a select query. You can see select from table with all the fields. But here we are saying please do a sum on demand for the number of votes for each party. So this is how we create a CDS view. You can see these are all called annotations. We will discuss and describe each and every annotation in detail in coming lectures. Today's demonstration is to just take you through the flow and discuss the most important critical questions around this entire training with all of you. Okay, so now we just go ahead and create a OData service as well for this view. So let's publish this OData service, and also we will mark the analytic category for this view as a cube. Now, what is a OData service? So in the world of internet, in the world of mobile phones, you are trying to access the data of SAP over the browser. Browser cannot fire select query. Browser cannot call function modules of SAP. So that's the reason we create something called these days OData services. In the past, we used to create SOAP services, but those were very heavyweight. Nowadays, we have this Microsoft's open technology OData, which we use to expose our data over the network. So this is what we are right now doing. We will have more detailed discussion in Unit 13 on OData so that you will get comfortable with OData services. I will activate this, and now we have got a view, CDS view created in our system. We can F8 and test the view, perhaps the same data. And then next step is to register this service which we created. So we can hover the mouse and we can copy the service name. And now we can switch over back to our uh, SAP GUI inside the Eclipse to register this OData service. The registration will create a SICF node, and this node will be required to be able to expose this information on the network so that our Fiori application can consume the same. As I mentioned in lesson number 13, I'm going to spend lots of time on the basics of OData, so you guys will get comfortable with OData services. For time being in the demo, I'm just going ahead and creating a OData service on top of CDS. Cool. So now the service is ready. Our next step is going to go and create a Fiori application to build a analytic dashboard. And some of you who have heard about Fiori, some of you never heard or never seen a Fiori app, don't worry. We have so much of detail in this course which will help you very comfortable with SAP Fiori. including all the connectivity and stuff like that. So when it comes to building an application, so you can see step number one is complete, where we build using the ADT tool a view. Now the step number two is to go to this tool called Business Application Studio and build a Fiori application into the system. So let us go ahead and see how does this tool look like. I will in unit number 15 explain you how to set up a free Business Application Studio tool for yourself in your personal computer. Yes, so this training is designed for freshers. Anyone can learn Abap on HANA with us. But in this demo session, I have already set up this tool to save time to show you one end-to-end flow. Having said that, let's move to the browser where I already have this development tool called Business Application Studio running in my system. What I'm going to do now, I will go to the tool, the Business Application Studio tool, and over here, I'm going to start creating an application. So let's create an application from template, and I'm going to just also choose a Fiori application. So let's copy the cube name in the meanwhile, and we will develop today a analytic list page application in Fiori. Click on next, and now we choose the data source connecting to a system. Click on next, and I've already created a connection to our SAP system. You can see it here. I will show you in my coming classes how to do connectivity of your company system with Business Application Studio tool. So for the demonstration purpose, I have created all these connections and set up before the demo so that I can show you one end-to-end flow. And now we search here our CDS view name, which we just created to create a analytic application. We select the same. Now this OData service is going to provide data to our project. So let's create a table of type grid, and we can just click on next to provide our project properties. So let me give a module name, let's say elections, and we can just give here the description, elections dashboard, Anubhav trainings, and now we can click on finish. So this will now generate a out of the box application for us. You can see the application is getting generated and it's available already over here. Now, when I start this application at the moment, I would not expect any output. The reason being we have not told our CDS engine to provide the data in a certain order, which is what we will do as a next step now. So let us test this application first, and then we will be adding extra bit of information to showcase you what is the capability of CDS as well as S4HANA system. So we are just executing the application now, and in few seconds you will see a Fiori app. So the time is gone when we used to develop GUI based application. More and more development these days with new innovation happening on Fiori. Fiori is SAP's new user experience, and this is how exactly we build Fiori apps. Wow. Of course, very empty application, but now if you can see, I will be able to add all my properties. You can see, and we will get all the data in this table out there. Cool. So these are the votes for each of the candidates for each of the party which they have gathered during the assembly elections. We can also add filters. So if there are any filter criterias, we will be able to quickly add them. For example, I'm only looking for party name and constituency assembly number, for example. or maybe the state name. So now if I just click on state name or party name, so I'm only interested in uh, Aam Aadmi Party, for example. If I search, then I should get only the result for Aam Aadmi Party. Cool. So this is how exactly we can get the data. But this is the setup of the application I would like to see out of the box, because I have manually added the settings, I manually added the filters. I want system to automatically show all this information to me. To be able to do that, we're going to switch over back and we are going to now add annotations. So first I will add annotation over here. Let's say for state name, it's called UI selection fields, position 1. I want to create a selection field. I also want this field to be a column. So we say it's a line item, position 1. Then followed by that, we will add constituency as a column. Then we add candidate name as a column. We will add party as a column. And finally, we will add votes as a column. Party will be also a selection field. So we will just go ahead and add that as a selection field as well. I'm going to explain you about all these annotations in detail in unit 16, 17, and 18. Let's activate. And now we can just go ahead and test our Fury app again. So if I switch over back, refresh, this time you're going to see that I don't have to go to settings icon to change the settings every time, because I'm expecting now, based on my annotations, the application to automatically take all the required properties. So yes, you can see it has taken state name and party name and all the columns in the same order, with the state name, constituency number, uh, candidate name, party name, and votes are also appearing for me out of the box. Last but not the least, I want to see a chart to see how much votes have been collected by each party. So we can just add a chart here, and then inside this chart we are going to add our dimensions and measures. So dimensions and measures, which are nothing but x-axis and y-axis, which we will be adding over. So in school days, we used to learn x-axis and y-axis. That's exactly what is called dimension. So let me mark dimension as party name, and then we will say measure, which is my y-axis, and I will say this is going to be votes. Then I will provide dimension attributes, dimension name as party, and then I will provide here the properties like role, category, yes, and then I will also add here the measure. Measure name is votes. So control space is what am I using to provide all the properties over here. So let's put it as axis 1. And now we will say the chart type, which I want it to be a donut chart. So there are different types of charts available, and I want to show it as a donut chart for showing how each party has got the number of votes, which party in this assembly election has got highest votes based on their rankings. So we add this property, and now we can switch over back to our Fury application. So you can see we add certain annotations, and based on those annotations, the system is eventually turning out to be generating my analytic application out of the box. And this application will be capable to run on any device, anytime, anywhere. So if I click go button, there you go. You can see BJP has got highest vote afterwards, this particular party, which was SP. And you can see the moment I am clicking on any party name, any party color over there, you can see if I click here, then it's also filtering the data in my table. That's super cool. Yes. So this is the beauty of our example. You can see here when I click BJP, it's filtering all the candidate names and constituencies for BJP accordingly. So this is how we can also do nice filtering. You can maximize the chart to see the distribution of votes. You can change the chart types. Very effective analytics Users can do a lot on these type of applications. These are built for heavy data to be displayed in a very concise manner to the user in the system. So that brings me to the end of this demonstration. Of course, some of you may not have understood much part of it because there is a lot I need to work on along with you in this training to get you comfortable with these latest concepts of HANA, S4HANA, and Fiori. So having said that, let's move to some of the frequently asked questions. First question, do I need to have prior knowledge of HANA to attend this training? Answer is no. You don't need to know HANA. We will cover HANA Foundation as part of this course for you. So you can be just a beginner in the world of SAP, and that's all we need. You just need to have zeal and enthusiasm to learn Abap on HANA, basics of programming skills, nothing more than that. We will teach you HANA also as part of this training. How much of ABAP knowledge required to learn ABAP on HANA? So we need only data dictionary, internal table, basic syntax, and function module knowledge to learn ABAP on HANA in this training. That too only require for 30% of this training. Rest all 70% topics on this training are absolutely new. So anyone can learn ABAP on HANA with us. I'm new to BW and BI. Is this course also going to help me if I am a BW or BI consultant? Yes, this course is going to help you because we will also learn S4 HANA embedded analytics in this training. So that is where the CDS view comes into picture. So we will learn VDM and CDS, which are also important for anyone who is working on BW and BI. This is going to help you as well. How much deep knowledge of OOPS ABAP is required? You should know just basics of classes, interface, and objects. That's all is enough. We don't need too much of OOPS ABAP for this training. So what about server access? So we can arrange a server access for you guys. I will guide you in my next class how to set up your server. What are all the options do we have available? So don't worry, none of you goes out of this training without hands-on. You all will learn, you all will be able to practice more and more demonstration, exercise, scenarios, case studies I will share with you during this training so that you will get full blown hands-on throughout this journey to prove your knowledge, prove your expertise in the subject of topic. So which version of S4HANA are we going to use in this training? So we will use latest 2021 with HANA 2.0 with ABA layer. This is what we will be using for this course. How much of this course we going to spend time on CDS topic? So around 40% of the course will cover CDS and topics around the CDS like CDS security, CDS VDM, CDS best practices, performance tuning, CDS cubes, analytics CDS views, table function, almost lots of topic around the CDS. Almost 40% of this course is around CDS views. Do I need prior knowledge of OData? No. We will also give you complimentary OData session so that you get comfortable with OData. Can I also take the course in video mode as timing doesn't suit me? Yes, you can certainly take this training in video mode even though the timing doesn't suit you. This is absolutely fine. You will be able to learn it without any problem. So what about the tools which we will use in this training? So in this training, we will use two main tools. One will be the ABAP development tool on Eclipse, and the second tool which we will be using is the Business Application Studio tool in this training. So you will get comfortable with both the tools in this training very easily, and you will be able to practice in any kind of company, any kind of environment going forward. Finally, the most important part, how do I join this training? So the process is very simple. You just have to drop us an email on contact@anubhavtrainings.com to sign up for this training. And then everything will follow along. You can just join this training from tomorrow. We have officially started a live demo today. Tomorrow is our next class or first class, I would say. And that's when we will begin this whole journey of ABAP on HANA. Having said that, I hope you enjoyed this demo session with me. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. So, in spite of having all the problems, in spite of you not be able to understand majority part of today's session, still Believe me, everyone can learn ABAP on HANA with us. And this is the new technology. This is the new edge. If you are an ABAP consultant, BW consultant, certainly this training is going to help you in a longer run. Having said that, thank you so much for taking this time today for this demo session. I wish to see you in the next class. Have a nice day. Goodbye.